Hello and welcome back to Inside Quotes, the show where my brother and I rewatch, review, and relive the staples of our childhood. This is episode 97, and I'm your host Jeremy, and with me today is my older brother Jonathan. Jonathan, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Jeremy. And quack, quack, everybody.
Quack, quack, we're back.
We are back. Thank you for tuning in to Inside Quotes after our brief hiatus that we did not announce, but it happened.
2 months hiatus.
It happens, you know. It always happens around the holidays. We always plan to do at least 4 Christmas movies, and we have not done but maybe 4 Christmas movies total over the 4 years of our doing the podcast.
Yeah.
But we are excited to be back. It is a special episode.
Yes, it is.
Because it's staple season.
It's staple season, baby. Otherwise known as Oscar season, but
yeah.
For us, we call it staple season because we're covering the staples of our childhood that we covered this past year of 2023, the year of our Lord.
Yes.
Anyways.
But first,
we have some housekeeping. Obviously, we have been gone for a while, and you're expecting us to go over Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Because we announced that in our last episode.
We announced it. I mean, We've been hit or miss with how accurate our hints have been at the end of episodes this year.
Yeah.
Because we've changed a lot. We're like, oh, let's do this movie. And then like, no.
And I feel like a lot of it has been my fault. Not just changing our mind, but us being available in general.
Mm-hmm. Where have we been?
Yeah, where have we
been?
What in the world? It's been 2 months, guys. Like, put something out there.
Well, we got busy.
Yes.
I got sick. I was sick for like entire December.
Bro, you got the flu twice. You got the flu during the flu.
It was crazy. And we went back to Florida for Christmas.
Yeah.
And we did Christmas early. So that kind of, wrecked our Christmas movie plans. And then, the New Year's and everything. Excuses. You don't want to hear it.
Excuses.
You just want to know where we've been, what we've been up to. What are we doing?
Let's talk about buttered sausage.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. No, but we had a good Christmas. We had a good holiday break. Yeah. And we are excited and ready to...
We went to Disney.
We did go to Disney. Went to Galaxy's Edge for the first time. Yeah. Stood in a long line.
Yeah,
twice. That's another story.
Yeah.
But Jeremy, I mean, like, I would say, okay, I mean, I'm just going to be real here. I think I've been ready to do the podcast, and you've been a little unavailable as of late, right?
Yes.
Am I wrong in saying that? Am
No,
I wrong?
100% correct. Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Well, I got engaged.
What?
Yeah. I figured I'd tell you this on the air. You weren't there or anything, so. But yeah, I did get engaged to be wed.
Now, when you say you got engaged, like you're getting married?
I'm getting married to the wonderful love of my life, Abby Wright. And she's one of the greatest people I've ever met in my entire life, and I love her so much. And Abby, if you're listening to this, hello, and welcome back to Inside Quotes.
Quack, quack, Abby. Welcome to the fam.
So we'll be excited to have you on the show as soon as we can.
That's a long waiting list.
Yeah,
let's
sure,
be real.
Of course, yeah.
But we are excited to be back. I mean, okay, we got to tell this story though.
Okay,
because you made the ring.
I did make the ring.
Did you say that?
No, I didn't.
Did you glaze over that?
I just glazed over that.
Jeremy made the ring. When he told me, like, he's like, I've been watching all these YouTube videos, and like, I think I want to make the ring. And I was like, you're talking gibberish.
Yeah, I got into some like blacksmith YouTube videos where this guy just makes swords and stuff, and just like 3 a.m. type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I could probably make a ring. So I looked that up, and the same guy that I was watching, Alex Steele, he made one, but he carved it out of wax and everything. And I was like, bro, how do you do this? Fast forward a couple months, and it's like, that's a deep dive. I've learned everything about it. And in September, over Labor Day, I told you all about this, and I was like, you know what? I think me and Abby are going to get married. And you were like, what the heck? What? And, yeah. So, and when we went to St. Louis, I said, "Hey, while we're in St. Louis, I'm going to need to make a stop."
Friend of the show, Jesse Vaughn,
and
his wife Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I said, "Hey, let's make a quick pit stop because there's some Facebook Marketplace I want to hit up in the middle of nowhere, Missouri."
It's like, you want to go all the way to St. Louis and meet up with some stranger?
Absolutely. Well, this guy had like all the equipment I was looking for because he had just gotten into it as well the past couple years. And really old man, really nice guy. And he like made a lot of the equipment himself. He's like an old professor, does like motion capture, super talented individual. And he was selling all of his Lost Wax casting equipment on Facebook Marketplace.
So fast forward to us loading up my car with a bunch of random junk.
Yeah.
And driving back.
You thinking I'm
Bowling
absolutely
Green.
crazy.
Hey, when you know, you know. That's what I've heard.
That's crazy. I never believed it. But I do now. So yeah, ever since then, I have been preparing and figuring out how to design this ring and seeing what type of ring Abby wanted. And I think I did really good. Even the jewelers that I went and got this. Okay, it was getting to crunch time. We had the ring design and everything.
He was so stressed.
I tell you,
Amazon packages not coming on time, canceling orders.
The day before we left for Florida, the night before we left for Florida is when I did the successful casting.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably one of the most stressful times. This is probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Mm-hmm. Challenging project for me, for sure. And
I think I've been worried about my potions final.
Yeah, well, we finished the design in November-ish, and we printed it out on resin.
A 3D printing.
3D printed resin. Yeah. And then we made the mold and everything, and then we burnt it out, melted all the wax out, and then that's the negative for the molten gold to be put in. So anyways, it's a lot of work, a lot of stress, but if you've ever met Abby, you'll know that she's worth it. And I'm so happy I got to do this. I cannot believe that I lucked out.
It's cool.
It's really cool, and I'm very proud of myself for it. And I'm glad that there's that memory and extra special love that I've put into our relationship for that.
And I doubted you the whole way, the entire way. I was like, it's
never
going to work.
You weren't the only one. I'll tell you what. I remember telling Dad, and he didn't say the words crazy. Like he didn't say I was crazy at all. He was just
when you first told him?
Yeah. He said, are you sure? I was like, well, yeah, I think I can do it. I'm determined to do it. I don't care how long it takes. I genuinely did not expect it to work out the first time. Yeah. I figured I would have to try again.
Yeah.
But I just didn't take any chances, and I just tried my hardest. In
the perfect cast.
It was the perfect cast. That's great. So yeah, long story short, I made the ring. I love it. I got it set professionally because it was crunch time, and I did not want to risk breaking any of the prongs off. So, but the guy at the jewelry place was like, "You did a good job. This looks really good." And that was probably the most.
And then you just said to him,
"That
I
was
know more than you."
Almost, yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
That was almost as validating as Abby saying yes.
Almost. Well,
but nowhere near. Just almost.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm engaged. Long story short.
Careful, girls. He's engaged.
So that's where we have been.
That's where we've been. And now that I've been engaged for about a month now, it's about time we dive back in to Inside Quotes, the show where my brother and I rewatch, review, and relive the staples of our childhood, of course. So, what better way to make our official return than to do our Staple Awards?
That's right.
Year 4, 2024.
We didn't expect that to be the next episode, but here we are.
I know. We thought we'd get to our 100th episode before the end of the year, but Here we are, but starring pilgrims.
We figured we'd just pace it out and let's just hit the staple awards, and then year 5, it's coming up. It's gonna be a good year.
I don't like saying year 5. That's crazy.
It's year 5. I mean, not like we haven't been doing this 5
it's
years.
It's season 5.
Season 5.
Season 5 is a little different.
Season 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Has our show jumped the shark yet? I don't know.
I don't think so. I feel like every time someone asks us, like, when are you gonna run out of movies?
We won't run out of movies.
I don't think we can.
There's so many.
I don't think we've made a dent yet.
I mean, we've
almost got 2 shelves.
We've definitely hit a lot of the staples of our childhood, but there's so many that we have like not even gone near yet.
Jonathan, we watched so many movies growing up. That's crazy.
But here we are, end of season 4.
Yep.
Staple Awards.
We covered 17 movies this year.
17.
That's not as much as we've done in the past, but it's a good amount. I'll say that. Shall I list them?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's do a year in review. What movies have we covered in 2023?
Well, I mean, last year we did this live show.
We did.
And we didn't have time for it this year because I was getting engaged and stuff. And we didn't really want to stress out over that.
It was a lot of work.
It was a lot of work,
fun.
and we're
it was
so
a good
glad.
show.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
We might do it again, but as of right now, we did the Staple Awards last year, of course. And what was our winner? Stapliest Picture from last year.
So I'll recap from the beginning.
Okay.
Season 1.
Okay.
I won't say year 1. Season 1.
Season 1.
Our Stapliest Picture went to National Treasure.
Amen.
Season 2. Stapliest Picture went to Cheaper by the Dozen.
I believe so.
Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah.
Year 3, season 3, was Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets.
Yep.
That's been the winners.
Yeah.
And this year, I think last year we realized we hadn't hit a lot of animated movies. So I think we did pretty good this year with the animated movies.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we've just leaned more towards the live action stuff. But
honestly, this year we've gotten a very good variety for how little movies we've done.
Yeah.
We've
worked
done
out pretty
obscure,
good.
we've done franchises, we've done animated, and it's been really diverse.
I think some of the categories we're gonna talk about tonight, our nominations are a bit of a stretch, but we're going with it.
Yeah. What else is new, huh?
But
it's staple season for you.
Did you want to do the rundown of the episodes?
So we started off this year after, of course, the Staple Awards. We did Ice Age. Then we did Pink Panther, the Steve Martin one from 2006. Then we did a 2-part episode because we talked about this for 4 hours.
It wasn't that long, but
of Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah.
2 parts. Total of about 2 hours episode.
We had to split that one up because there was some audio issues that was taking me a long time.
Oh, yeah.
But we did record for like over 2.5 hours.
It was our longest episode so far. And one of the most downloaded, too, for both of them. So
it's popular. Goblet of Fire.
And then we did Angels in the Outfield with Caleb Keenan. That was our first guest of the year. And then we did Finding Nemo. Classic. Then we did Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Then we did a very obscure one, Crocodile Dundee 3 in Los Angeles. I don't think anybody we've known has ever seen that movie besides our older brothers.
Anybody that has seen that and listened to that episode was probably annoyed at how much we kept saying, nobody's ever seen this movie.
Yeah. Then we went right back into it with the heavy hitters, with Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. Love that movie. And then we had our next guest of the year, Connor Patterson, and we talked about Emperor's New Groove.
That's right.
And then we covered my favorite Indiana Jones movie right after that. Mm-hmm. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Sorry for the haters. And then we did another obscure one, but really good, Timeline, based on the book from Michael Crichton, same guy who wrote Jurassic Park. Yeah. And then another staple, Castaway. We did that one. And then we did Over the Hedge for Halloween, or starting the fall. Mm-hmm. And then UHF featuring Jason Mallow. And then for our Halloween episode, we did Ernest Scared Stupid, featuring the one, the only Bryce Bridgeman, of course. And then
Four-time guest.
Fourth time guest.
He's almost at the 5-timers club.
Almost. And then we did Night at the Museum 2, Battle of the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
Classic. And then we didn't know we were going to end the year, but we ended the year with Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
That's right.
So we knocked out a good amount of Harry Potters. I can't believe, like, we're going on our third year of knocking out Harry Potter. But, like, I kind of like it this way because we're not just completely binging Harry Potter. Like, we're spreading it out. It's kind of worked out for the best, in my opinion.
When we originally planned it, we're like, we'll do one a month, and, we'll get through it, in one of the years. And then, obviously, we had some space in between.
Yeah. I wish we had, like...
I am glad we didn't just knock them out just, like, week after week after week and just do the same thing. Because I think I would have gotten tired of that.
And we also wanted to take time and read the books ourselves.
True. Yeah.
And the later they get, the bigger they get.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, Jonathan, we do have a lot of different categories for our Staple Awards. But right now, currently, on Instagram, we are live voting for our Stapliest Picture contribution for the listener's choice.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. By the end of this night, we will have a Stapliest Picture.
Mm.
We will close the voting probably about 30 minutes from now, and it'll be great. So, Jonathan, you want to go ahead and read off our categories, and we'll just dive right into that.
I sure do. All right. We've got 10 categories this year, including the Stapliest Picture Award.
Of course.
And maybe some like shout-outs or random things here and there.
Okay.
So here are the categories for Season 4 of the Staple Awards. Category 1, Best Animation. Funniest Staple. Best Sports Movie. Best Wish Fulfillment Movie. Which we can further explain that later on. Okay, we have 2 music awards. One is for the best score. And then the second one is for the best soundtrack. The songs, like the mixtape type of the best like needle drops in a movie. Next one, we've got best duo, best villain, and then I really like this category. This is the most obscure or the movie least likely to be nominated this evening.
Yeah.
For a category. And then, of course, we've got Stapliest Picture. So stick around to the end.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and dive right into category number 1, Best Animation. Best Animated Film.
Now, I mean, this is an interesting one because Best Animation, we've got a lot of good animated movies this year.
Mm-hmm.
Here are the nominations. Finding Nemo, Jimmy Neutron, Over the Hedge, Ice Age, and Emperor's New Groove.
Okay.
Now, this is interesting because as it stands currently in the polls, we have 2 animated movies going for Best Stapliest Picture.
Mm-hmm.
So, could one of these movies take both awards? I don't know.
It's possible. It's very possible.
Well, how are we going to do this? Are we going to debate them?
Well, I don't know exactly because obviously, objectively, these were made at different times and with different budgets.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these don't look that good.
Mm-hmm.
But
so we are just looking based on like animation quality, you think?
That
or
plus
is this,
like
I'm not clear on the category, even though I made it up. Is it best animation or like best animated movie? Is this like a technical artsy award?
Well, we can talk about the perks for each movie here. So Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Water. Very brand new for its time. Very innovative and very impressive. Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron, the animation isn't great, but I do recall when we did the episode, it was groundbreaking at the time.
It was groundbreaking.
Wasn't it the first 3D animated show, like TV show or something like that?
Mm-hmm. But here's the deal. Okay. I hate, you know this about me, I hate judging a movie or a TV show based off of what it did for its time. Man, nobody ever did anything like Citizen Kane before. That movie's the best movie ever made. No, it's
Apparently.
not. It's been 80 years, bro. It's fine.
Personally, I like the Country Bears better.
All right, you just lost Kyle.
And I like Citizen Kane more than you. But at the same time, I've seen it one time. I probably won't watch it again. It was a good movie.
That's a lot for the best movie ever made. Anyways,
Well, Ice Age.
I don't want to
What do you
just
have to say about Ice Age?
Well, Ice Age was really good. I think the storytelling, the visual storytelling through its animation was really cool. It's groundbreaking for its own company because it was the first movie for Blue Sky, and it's critical to that animation studio's success. It was already kind of a cult classic.
But what did it do for the time? Who cares? What's it doing for me today in 2024?
Exactly. I mean, I would like to say that Finding Nemo is probably objectively the best animation in all of these. But
There's still Over the Hedge.
There is Over the Hedge.
And Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's New Groove is the only 2D animated one that we did this year. Or in this category.
Yeah.
But I would like to give the others a chance because obviously Finding Nemo is the most well put together animated movie, and it was groundbreaking and everything. It checks all the boxes. Over the Hedge, plenty of great animated foods.
Yes.
It looked like a PS2 game, most of it, which Over the Hedge was a really good PS2 game, actually. I don't know. There's a lot of the animation that didn't super age well, but what truly impressed me was Ice Age. It was very simple, but very complex in certain ways.
Okay.
Like Manny's hair. That was 2002. That's the same time as Pixar doing Sully with that hair.
Yeah, it just doesn't look as good as Pixar, though.
Okay. It's like the John Williams Award. We can't do.
Well, I'm not saying the best Pixar movie, but
Of course.
For me personally, I think I'm gonna go with Finding Nemo. I think that's my pick. I think that's objectively, like you were saying, the best. Animation quality.
Yeah.
I mean, just looking at the movies themselves, I mean, I know I ranked Finding Nemo the highest, like as far as Letterboxd scores. The Letterboxd thing is tricky though, because when we were doing the rounds, it was still hard. Like there was
you checked your Letterboxd scores?
No,
on the polls.
Well, I just remembered what I had rated them like in the podcast. Like, okay, for example, one that I thought was really tough was, I think it was Ice Age and Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, that one was really.
I was like,
really
I don't know what to pick here. Yeah, I think I ranked Emperor's New Groove higher, but I was like, this is harder. This is hard. Like, I don't know what to do here. Some of the matchups we can, if you remember any that like stand out.
That was definitely our closest one.
Yeah.
It was 50-50 for the majority of the day.
Yeah, for the round one.
Yeah.
But I when I look at Jimmy Neutron, when I look at Over the Hedge, I don't think that the animation quality is that great. Right. I do think Ice Age might be a little bit better, but when you compare it to Finding Nemo, I think you got to go with Nemo.
Yeah.
I really do. That's a tough matchup for me too, though.
It really is a tough matchup because just because it's good doesn't mean it's a staple in our hearts, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like there's a uniqueness in Ice Age and there's a uniqueness in Jimmy Neutron. But there's not really that much of a uniqueness in Finding Nemo other than that it's super good.
And this is the best animation.
Best animation.
I think we got to go with it.
I think we should. Well, let's see what the Academy says.
What does the Academy say?
The winner for the best animation for Staple Awards, Season 4. Finding Nemo. All right, congrats to Finding Nemo. That makes sense. It makes perfect sense.
It's just, so many good nominations. It's hard to choose.
I do love me some Ice Age, though.
I'm not mad about that pick.
Nah, not at all. It deserves it. And I love Finding Nemo. I was just giving it a hard time just because I know it was going to win.
You got to debate the merits of each one.
Yeah. All right. Round 2. We've got funniest staple. Speaks for itself. What movie made you laugh the most out of these nominations? Ice Age, Pink Panther, Crocodile Dundee, UHF, or Emperor's New Groove. So, I think, honestly, it's pretty obvious. I think we already know it. How about how about we say our picks, and then we give the merits to what's due.
Okay.
Afterwards.
Okay.
I think I'm going to say what you're going to say.
Okay.
I think
so.
Okay.
I think so.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Pink
Panther.
Panther.
Yep. Okay. So the Pink Panther, Steve Martin, Pink Panther is probably the best Pink Panther movie ever made. It's got Bay Once.
So funny.
It's so funny. I can't. There's so many quotes. It is visual comedy at its finest, but it's also clever too. So if you haven't seen Pink Panther yet, go watch that movie. Ice Age.
Good one, Ponton.
Good, funny characters, I would say, in Ice Age. Not necessarily a funny movie.
Yeah, because it has its moments where it's got its heart and it's like serious, story to it. And Pink Panther just laughs throughout.
True, yeah. I think Ice Age kind of made me cry a little bit.
You did have a moment watching that one.
Yeah. Crocodile Dundee, super good. It's kind of a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
It's
fish out of water.
Fish out of water, Australia, mate. Funny accents.
But it is good.
It's really good, and it's really funny.
It's funny.
UHF.
You haven't seen it, obviously, the listener. But
for UHF, Weird Al, probably the funniest musician alive.
This is where it gets tough for me, because
UHF
is
what you based your entire humor off of.
I mean, I love Weird Al. I love UHF. This is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
But I think just as far as a staple goes, like in quotes and humor, like Pink Panther, I have to go with that one.
Absolutely.
But I really love UHF, and anyone that likes Weird Al, had that phase when they were 12.
Yeah.
Go watch that movie. And then Emperor's New Groove.
Boom, baby.
Boom, baby.
I think you earned a whole new appreciation for that movie this year.
There's actually several movies that I gained a better appreciation for this year. They were mostly your picks.
You had a lot of growth this year. I'm glad.
Ice Age was one of them.
Yeah?
I mean, I always liked Ice Age, but I had a new appreciation for just because you get into the sequels. And I haven't even seen the sequels, but like just knowing there are so many Ice Age sequels kind of like taints the reputation.
Right.
Like Despicable Me or something like that.
Hey, those are good, and we will be covering those.
Like I'm saying, I've seen the first one, but because there's all those other sequels, I'm like, okay.
It's intimidating.
And a Minions movie, and the Minions are all over everything. Probably not anymore, but it's just one of those things. And then also, the other one was Over the Hedge.
Yeah.
That was also one that that wasn't one of my favorites. And basically a lot of these animated ones, I think, really went up the ranks for me.
Yeah.
Because that, like when I would see Over the Hedge against Ice Age or Emperor's New Groove, I was like, in years past, I would have known exactly what to pick. And this time I hesitated. So I don't know. Had some growth this year.
Yeah.
I'm improving myself.
I think Emperor's New Groove, although it was funny, David Spade killed it. Mm-hmm. Patrick Warburton killed it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it had a better overarching story.
Mm-hmm.
That's like his main thing, is that the story was good.
Yeah. That was the other one I was leading up to, was that because I talked about Emperor's New Groove. That's my answer to the IQ test of most overrated movie is Emperor's New Groove. And so I gave it another chance, and
Connor made you change your mind.
He did change my mind. But the award goes to Pink Panther. I think we always cover like a really funny movie at like the start of the year.
Yeah.
Because we just like want to start out the year with a bang. And that was one of our early episodes this year.
Yeah.
So are you ready for the next category, Jeremy?
Absolutely. Throw it at me.
The next one we've got is Best Sports Movie. All right. I'm going to be honest. We got a little bit of a stretch on these nominations because we really only covered one like true sports movie this year.
Yes.
But that's my opinion, man. See for yourself when you hear these nominations. Okay. All right.
Let's explain each one.
So here's the traditional one. Okay, Angels in the Outfield.
Solid
Classic
pick.
baseball movie. Had our friend Caleb Keenan on the show. Kid wants, he prays and asks for angels to help win the pennant. His favorite baseball team, California Angels. Traditional baseball type story. Next, we've got Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. Because Quidditch.
It's got the most Quidditch of any Harry Potter movie, and half the plot goes around Quidditch.
Yeah, Ron Weasley. Weasley is our king.
I think it's great.
Shut it. Okay, next, and I'm pretty proud of this one. Castaway. Because Wilson is a volleyball.
And there's figure skating.
And he's got skates that he uses.
He's got ice skates.
I mean, he's hunting and fishing. Those are sports, right?
Sure.
He's a all-around guy.
We're just stretching.
It's a stretch, but it's nominated.
Wilson, a lot of sports sales for Wilson after that.
And then the final nomination is the Pink Panther because of the soccer match at the beginning, and the whole story revolves around a football coach, soccer coach that is murdered.
Absolutely.
So, and actually, those scenes are actually pretty cool at the beginning. I actually like the soccer scenes. At
Makes
the beginning.
people like soccer.
So
yeah. So those
what are we gonna pick?
Those are our stretches. Jonathan, I'm serious. I kind of want to do Harry Potter 6.
I'm sort of inclined to do that too.
It's got such an arc.
Just to, I don't know, just be contrarian. At the same time, Angels in the Outfield is like a real sports movie.
Yeah. I will say this. The minute that the Harry Potter Wizarding World of Harry Potter comes out with a Quidditch movie, sports movie, that will be amazing. That'll probably be my favorite sports movie of all time. So. Probably not. What am I thinking? But I can't say that. Obviously, Harry Potter 6 is a better movie than Angels in the Outfield. In my book. Obviously,
I think I
in my
rated them
book.
the same on Letterboxd.
Okay.
I did, not you.
You like that movie a lot more than I do.
I do. But that is a good one for me. It has some good quotes. It's got a lot of heart. I actually like the music, the soundtrack in it. But you did say when we were talking about like, oh, what are our hopes and dreams for this Harry Potter reboot series? You were like, when it gets to the Quidditch World Cup, I just want an episode on that.
That's what I want.
Game, the gameplay, the sports drama. Like that's what we want.
That's what I want.
I think we got to go Angels though.
It's possible. All right, well, the winner of the Sports Movie Staple Award goes to Angels in the Outfield. You gotta do it. You gotta do it to him.
You have to. It kind of reminds me of last year. For our best animation category, we had Chicken Little and Chicken Run.
The two chickens.
We were just like, oh, the category should just be best chicken movie.
Yeah. That's funny.
So we need to have a little bit, if we're going to have that as a category, we need to have at least 2 sports movies.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to cover the next category?
All right. So our next category needs some explaining. We need to do some explaining. It's called wish fulfillment category. And basically, a lot of kids' movies have this thing where it's like this kid wishes he can have a cooler life or a better life or just something to happen. And out of the ordinary, his life comes through. It happened with Like Mike. He became an NBA basketball player. Mm-hmm. Rookie of the Year, became an MLB player.
Just when a kid gets to do something cool or just like something as a kid, you were like, I would do anything to be able to do that.
It's really like foolproof like engagement for a movie for kids to watch a movie. But yeah, so our nominees are Jimmy Neutron, UHF, and Angels in the Outfield. Now, Jimmy Neutron is the wish fulfillment is we don't want our parents to be around. We just want to have summer all year round.
Walking up the down escalator.
Turns out
peeing in the shower.
I want a Petalama. Jimmy Neutron is so good.
It's so funny.
A
Funnier than I
lot of
remember.
quotes,
Yeah.
a lot of like, a lot of good soundtrack, honestly, and basically, he got his wish fulfilled by his parents, all the parents in the entire world getting abducted by aliens.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie is like saving your parents from the aliens.
Yeah,
really good movie. Watch that. Show your kids that movie. It's so funny. And then UHF, not really wish fulfillment, but he kind of turns into a dream scenario.
Yeah, I think the idea on this one, at least the way I viewed it as a wish fulfillment, was like, what if you were in charge of your own TV station?
Yeah.
And like you got to choose what kind of shows went on, filming whatever you wanted, you know. That's what I think would be cool.
So yeah, gets his own TV channel.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool, Angels in the outfield. Literal angels are helping a baseball team win.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool.
That's not wish fulfillment. That's prayer
That's
fulfillment.
just prayer, baby.
Yeah.
Preach. So yeah, I think we can go on the count of 3. I think we pretty much know what we're gonna pick.
Is that what we're going to do? Count of 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius.
Yeah.
It's too cut and dry. That's the perfect wish fulfillment. It's like Home Alone, but for the entire
it's the
world.
plot of a lot of kids' movies. I feel like what if there were no parents? You know,
Yeah.
like it's just like what if I could do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That was a big contender for funniest staple for me, honestly, because so many quotes, so many great characters too.
Carl and Sheen are just hilarious.
We even went through a phase where we started watching the TV show again. We probably watched like a season or 2 of that.
And we had already recorded the episode. This was just for fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point, you know? So really good stuff. We're glad that it won a Staple Award.
Yeah.
So yeah, next category, Jonathan.
So the next category is going to be the best score. This is the soundtrack, like the instrumental music created for the movie.
Yes.
Not the Smash Mouth songs playing in the background. The stuff where they got a composer. Okay.
Absolutely.
So
there's
here,
a lot of movies that had Smash Mouth.
Smash Mouth is a movie band, for sure.
Very much so.
Like Bowling for Soup is a movie band.
That's a YouTube video essay that you need.
So here are the nominations for best score. Okay. Oh, it's a toss up, or we're gonna nominate both. Harry Potter 4 and 5, or are we just gonna do one?
Both. They're very different scores.
Both. They are very different.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Goblet of Fire, and we've got Order of the Phoenix. What is the movie called? Order of. I don't know what it's called.
Order me some phoenixes.
Order of the Phoenix. Why does
Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
Why does that sound weird to me right now?
Doesn't sound weird to me.
I don't know what's going on with my brain right now, but
Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
Okay.
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire. Castaway, Finding Nemo, Angels in the Outfield.
Okay.
I didn't realize we nominated Angels in the Outfield for so many things, but
We really did.
I enjoyed that movie. Okay. There's some good stuff here.
I've already picked mine.
Are we just gonna pick one and then go with our picks? Go with our guts
feel
like
like
we did?
should say a little bit about each one.
Okay. I will say for Castaway.
Yeah.
It has some really great music. And actually what I think is interesting about that one is that actually a lot of the movie doesn't have music.
Right.
And it adds to the sound design of the island and the sound of the waves and stuff. But when the music does kick in, it's very powerful. It's very emotional.
It's a heavy hitter.
It is very good.
Iconic.
I feel like I'm crossing that one off of my list.
I am too.
Okay.
But it still is a valid movie score.
Definitely.
Just an artsy version.
So, Angels in the Outfield, I am a sucker for Randy Edelman scores.
Okay.
And I don't know why. He's just a random 90s composer that did a lot of kids' movies.
Yeah.
And I like the soundtrack for that. It's pretty good. So for me, I'm leaning between one of the Harry Potters or Finding Nemo.
Okay.
Okay. I will say this. The Finding Nemo score is really good.
A little too good.
A little too good. No. I think it's got some singles on there, but I don't like to listen to the whole album.
Yeah, I'm with you. A lot of it's kind of stressful too, like the scuba diving one. Mm-mm.
But there's, like Nemo Egg. Is
Nemo Egg is calming.
Classic.
Perfect.
I like the calming, watery, aqua sounding soundscapes of that score. It's really good.
Yes.
Which means I think we're in a debate between Harry Potter 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Apparently, Order of the Phoenix. Apparently, that's what it's called.
How did you not know that? Basically, which movie score had a better serious fire?
A better serious vibe?
Fire.
Oh, fire. So which one are you leaning towards?
Well, a lot of people said they liked the one in Order of the Phoenix more than just the Flame series fire. We already went through this, but over the Ashes
that's what you're
series
talking
fire.
about.
Yeah.
Our debate over which had the better serious fire.
That's a real thing
CGI.
I think about, that's probably my Roman Empire. I think about that a lot.
You think about my opinion on that?
No.
Or just
I think about my opinion
the
on
difference
that.
between.
Why did they have
4
to
and 5?
change it? They didn't have to. It looked amazing. Moving on.
3, 2, 1.
Goblet of Fire.
Order of the Phoenix.
Oh boy, we got a tiebreaker.
I wanted to debate you on this one.
Okay.
I won't be mad with either one, but
Neither would I.
I want to debate this.
I think.
Go ahead.
I'll say my thing. I
Go
think
ahead.
Order of the Phoenix is very valid because it really that whole movie. Although a lot of people don't like that movie, it's not very accurate to the books, but it defined a whole new brand / era of the Harry Potter movies. Yeah, sonically.
So you're defending my
visually.
pick here?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right. Keep
and
going.
you can defend mine. Harry Potter 4 and 5 are probably my two favorite books. 2, 4, and 5 are my favorite books. 4 is such an entertaining movie. And the music is very diverse, and I want to listen to it all. Except for the stressful beginning part where Frank dies. But we're talking Patrick Doyle versus
Nicholas Hooper.
Nicholas Hooper.
Yeah.
Ooh, fireworks.
I'll defend yours for a little bit. I really love the Goblet of Fire soundtrack too.
Yeah.
It's unique because it's the only one that has that composer. It's got that more like Scottish influence. He's like a Scottish composer. And like I love John Williams. I talk about John Williams pretty much every episode of this podcast.
Yes.
And I love what he did for Harry Potter, but I also really love the later scores.
Absolutely.
And
he created the skeleton of the scores.
Yeah.
That's all we needed him for. I would have been upset if he did all 8 movies, honestly.
I wouldn't have been upset, but I love what we got. So like I wouldn't change it. Like I just love what we've got. And maybe we could have nominated the Goblet of Fire soundtrack for the soundtrack songs portion because I love those Wizard Rock songs at the end.
Yeah.
Those are great. Yeah, I mean I love the themes of like the different schools coming to do the tournament. Mm-hmm. So, but I have to say, coming back around to my pick, Order of the Phoenix, I prefer Nicholas Hooper. Because I actually like his 5 and 6. I think I like those the best. Those are the ones I re-listen to most.
Okay.
Well, 4, 5, and 6, I really do listen to them all. But here's going to be my argument here. What do I always say about Order of the Phoenix? Longest book, shortest movie.
Yes.
And I have complaints about that. But I think it's probably the best soundtrack.
Yeah?
Like I think it's my least favorite or one of my least favorites adaptation wise, but I want to give the music some kind of award cuz I wouldn't award the Order of the Phoenix on like best picture or anything like that.
Sure.
Know? That's my case for 5.
How about this? How about we take a break?
Okay.
And we listen to both scores, just the highlights of the scores, and see what we like the most.
Okay.
What invokes feeling or a spark, if you will.
Which one evokes fireworks?
Yes. Or red sparks. Priculum. So, yeah, let's take that break.
Okay. And we're back.
Okay, we're back. We did a very extensive sampling of every single track on both of those albums.
Just like a speed run. And we just gave it a tally mark for like yes or no.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, is this a good one?
And we gave it a percentage based on...
Or no. Yes or no.
Does it yes or no? On a
Doesn't mean it's
binary
bad,
scale,
it's just
0 or
like-
1,
Yeah.
does it invoke feeling into us?
Mm-hmm.
That's not stress. We don't like the stressful ones.
Okay.
Went through both. It was very close, but in both of them are still iconic.
Absolutely.
But go ahead.
Well, let's announce the winner.
Okay.
What has the Academy selected? And then we can talk about it.
Gotcha. The winner for Best Music Score Staple Award goes to Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Man,
It's a good soundtrack.
I kind of feel bad because like there's some heavy hitters
There are.
in Order of the Phoenix,
And I still, man, it's tough.
it
Man.
hurts a little bit.
Yeah, but like I'm happy with this decision.
Yeah, me too.
All right, and here's my reasons for conceding. I think anyway.
Okay.
Of our experiments, of like, yes or no, number of tracks, tally marks, we didn't even include the bonus tracks, which was like
That's
the Wizard
true.
Rock songs
Yeah.
for Goblet of Fire, and I love those so much.
You do be loving those.
So I give it to that. Also, when we were scrubbing through Order of the Phoenix, there was a lot of them we had to like skip a little bit into it. Like they
Yeah.
don't start out immediately.
Very quiet, and that's honestly really annoying.
And I don't it can be annoying. I don't mind it because when I say I listen to these a lot, it's like while I'm working at work. And so
Yeah.
I don't need like, it's just kind of background music. And it has a lot more like chill
Yeah.
sections that are like not as much going on. But just
Actually-
right off the bat, hitting play, it's like, I don't even remember this one sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not as iconic from the bat. I will say, to give that credit, it's a lot better than just some starting out blaring score that just kills your earbuds.
Yeah. It
Um,
flows from one thing to the next. But
Yeah.
as we were scrubbing through it, it happened a lot. I was like, fast forward a little bit. What was this one? Oh, this one.
Yeah.
And there was some good ones in there. Dumbledore's Army, Loved
Yeah.
Ones and Leaving,
Fireworks,
Fireworks,
Umbridge's
the
theme.
intro. There's a lot of good stuff in Order of the Phoenix, but we went with Goblet of Fire. And yes, we did put our name in the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so many. It's almost like the level of intensity of how iconic, of intensity of iconicness.
Mhm.
And I feel like Harry Potter and Goblet of Fire is so diverse and so like a higher caliber of iconicness than Order of the Phoenix, because a lot of Order of the Phoenix is chill. It's a different vibe. But if you guys were wondering, we gave me the stats. So out of how many songs?
I don't have the total.
Well, it was 21.
Goblet of Fire had 14 yeses and 7 nos,
Okay.
not including the 3 bonus tracks at the end
Yes.
by the Weird Sisters.
Correct. So 21.
Order of the Phoenix had 11 yeses and 7 nos.
Okay.
With no Wizard Rock songs.
So if we're going based off of percentages, Goblet of Fire had 0.66 or 66%, rounding up to 67%, of success in invocation of feeling. And then Order of the Phoenix had 0.61 or 61%.
It was a
Both
close
are great, and I'm glad. I mean, obviously, because I suggested that one, but you made a really good point at first. But moving on, to best soundtrack, and you also made another point. Should we nominate this one, Goblet of Fire, for best soundtrack, just because of those 3 Yule Ball songs?
I'm going to say no because I included it in my reasoning for best score. Yes. Patrick Doyle for Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
Patrick Doyle.
Next, best soundtrack, and the nominations are Over the Hedge, Jimmy Neutron, UHF, and Ice Age.
Yeah.
And I mean, we can just do a little recap of each one. UHF is basically another Weird Al album.
Yeah.
It has bits from the movie, but it also has like original songs that have nothing to do with the movie. So it's kind of an interesting album.
Now, does that give it a leg up, or does it take it away?
Well, I would say it probably takes away a little bit.
Okay.
Because it's kind of a hybrid between just a regular Weird Al album and a soundtrack.
Yeah.
But having said that, the UHF, like theme song is amazing. It's like one of his best songs. Sure. I love it. But it takes it away, that Money for Nothing Beverly Hillbillies music video in the middle of the movie.
Fever dream.
And then Over the Hedge. That's, if you like Ben Folds, you're gonna like that soundtrack.
Honestly,
he wrote all the music for that.
So good.
It's a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
Okay, Ice Age. I only remember the Rusted Root "Send Me on My Way" song.
I guess
but there's something else in there.
It
right?
really would just qualify more for a score, because the opening travel music, that's a constant. That one is constantly in rotation in my thing. Fighting Over the Melons. Honestly, we should have nominated for the score. Probably wouldn't have won, but here we are. I have a hard time finding Ice Age soundtrack music other than "Send Me on My Way."
Well, let me look it up on IMDb.
Okay. I think opening travel music just sounds like such a good, iconic.
Okay, I thought there was another song in there, but I guess
the
not.
fact that we can't remember it, kind of takes away from it, anyways.
Yeah. But
sorry, Ice Age.
I mean, I think we said this when we talked about Ice Age, but like "Send Me on My Way" was like All-Star was to Shrek.
Absolutely, it was.
So like, I think we opted not to do like best original song or something, even though this isn't an original song. It probably would have fit in that category somehow.
Yeah, and if you do recall, we did do Matilda a year or two ago, and "Send Me on My Way" is also in Matilda.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the heck is this Ice Age song doing in Matilda?
Yeah.
Matilda came out way before that movie. That just shows how amazing that song is and iconic it is for that movie. Nevertheless, it's a soundtrack, not just one track.
Also, I just want to give a shout out to Captain Awesome from the show Chuck, who was always name dropping Rusted Root as like a running gag of like his favorite artist.
That's funny. Okay, so what are our other nominations?
And then the other one that we haven't talked about is Jimmy Neutron.
Ooh, yeah.
Jimmy Neutron soundtrack. It's got some good stuff on it. Had some music videos on the DVD special features.
Yep.
Kids in America by No Secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And all.
It's a kid, baby.
Aaron Carter.
Rest in peace.
Bowling for Soup did the theme song for Jimmy Neutron, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
What else was on there?
Jimmy Neutron, I think, is one that had a lot of ones that we forgot that was in it.
But probably songs that were like in a lot of other movies, probably.
Of course, yeah. Soundtracks. Jimmy Neutron theme, of course, became iconic for that TV show.
Here's one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just an old chunk of coal, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday.
I mean, the diamond someday.
There's an NSYNC song.
Answer to Our Life.
Blitzkrieg Bop. That's one that's like in a lot of movies.
Bop, yes.
But that was for that iconic montage of the kids running all over town, doing whatever they want, going to the mall, eating as much ice cream.
He blinded with Miss Science.
Mm-hmm.
That's in there.
The Chicken Dance.
Britney Spears. Chicken Dance. Yep, that's the movie I think of when I think of Chicken Dance. Justin Timberlake song named Blitzkrieg Bop.
I think for me this is
Kids
probably up between Over the Hedge and Jimmy Neutron
Okay.
for me. So it comes down to, do you like the mixtape of songs and Jimmy Neutron, or do you like the Ben Folds
Original music.
original music?
Both are soundtracks. Doesn't have to be a mixtape.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, because it's all Ben Folds with one. And then the other one, you get a mix of.
Mostly Aaron Carter.
Yeah.
2000s pop. A perfect time capsule for 2003 when it came out.
I think so,
2001 when it came out. Good one. I think my gut is to go with Over the Hedge, though.
Do you really?
I think so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I was going to make the argument that we have more of a personal connection to the music videos, at least, on the Jimmy Neutron.
Great point.
I think personally. Now, I think as an adult, I would listen to the Over the Hedge soundtrack more. But I think that the Jimmy Neutron songs have more equity with me as far as my childhood. So I don't know. We'll
take a break. We're gonna do another audit. Okay, so we have determined a winner. Going back, this is a positive thing, but going back, let's just go ahead and say it.
Yeah. What is the Academy choosing?
The Academy chooses the winner for the Staple Award for the Best Music Soundtrack goes to Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius. We decided to do that. Obviously, Ben Folds did an amazing job, but like we realized there was only 3 or 4 songs in the entire Ben Folds soundtrack. Now we just based it off of quantity and not quality, maybe, but still, like Ben Folds killed it, and it actually kind of hurts not picking that.
But the Aaron Carter music video.
But the music videos is what got me, you know?
And the Kids in America.
Kids in America. Both of those music videos were amazing. But also, just the music was so hype. And it was like 2000s, early 2000s, like big. Like, I didn't know half the bands. I don't know. What was I, 4 years old? This movie came out?
Yeah.
I didn't know half the bands. I didn't know who these people were. I just thought it was that cool blonde dude that turned into a cartoon. I have no idea who any of these people were. Yet, every single one was a pop.
Yeah.
So, I'll concede for you for that. And I think
never would have thought that would have won, you know, when we started out this year of covering movies. But here we are. Look at us.
Oh my gosh. I forgot to nominate Pink Panther for Woman Like Me.
Oh.
Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. We just ripped on Beyonce
it's the one
just
song,
now.
though.
It's just
one
one song.
It's one song.
We should have done a best original song. I think we could have done.
We may have missed out.
Should we still do it?
No, it's fine.
I think we still could.
I mean, just do it now. Honorable mentions.
Okay, so honorable mentions for best original music. We didn't do any like categories specifically, but we wanted to shout out some. Beyonce, Queen Bee, with her "Woman Like Me," I think what it's called.
Yeah.
It's not in her actual discography. It's just sang it in Pink Panther.
Yeah.
You can find it on YouTube. It's my favorite Beyonce song by far, and that's crazy because she's very talented. Then we've got "Family Me" from Ben Folds, classic. "Rockin' the Suburbs," classic. "Dance Like a Hippogriff" from Goblet of Fire. And Jimmy Neutron theme. That's original music.
"Send Me on My Way."
"Send Me on My Way" wasn't.
It's not original.
That's not original.
But neither is. I mean, like, "Rockin' the Suburbs" wasn't original to.
Oh, really?
Edge. No.
Okay.
It's another song.
Then we'll nix that one.
But
for sure.
but "Family of Me" that's a valid nomination.
Yeah.
So those are our music choices. We spend a lot of time on that, but we really care about the music.
Very important
in movies.
We had to audit every single track listed.
Okay. Let's do best duo.
A lot of debate though.
Okay. We have a lot of nominations here because we had a lot of good duos.
Yeah.
A lot of great nominations. This year we've got Sid and Manny from Ice Age. Inspector Clouseau and Ponton from Pink Panther, Marlon and Dory from Finding Nemo, Tom Hanks and Wilson in Castaway, Indiana Jones and Mutt Williams, Harrison Ford and Shia LaBeouf.
Great chemistry.
From Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
And then we've got Crocodile Dundee and Jacko.
Jacko.
From Crocodile Dundee 3.
All right.
So, I mean,
wow.
this is hard.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. Jonathan, there's only one duo here that their relationship made me tear up.
Okay.
In the movie.
Can I add one shout out here?
Go for it.
Best trio, Jimmy Neutron, Sheen, and Carl.
Best trio for sure.
Best trio.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I think I know where you're going with that, and I think it's a good idea. But let's talk about the other ones.
Okay.
Crocodile Dundee and Jacko. I mean, the whole reason we covered that movie was because of an exchange between those two.
Yes.
Like when Jacko enters the movie, things get good.
Yes, it really does. Yeah.
So I think that's an iconic one, but probably not the best duo on this list.
Yeah.
Okay. Marlon and Dory.
There's not much of an arc between them. They're already like good buds, you know?
Dory just kind of annoys him.
No, I meant for Jacko and...
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dory just kind of annoying. It's kind of just like a... She's sort of a side character.
Yeah.
But not like... I don't know.
They don't work that great together. Marlon kind of puts up with her.
Yeah.
But they resolve things in the end, and they work out, and there's, but not the best duo
but
on this
sort of
list.
one-sided.
Yeah.
Separately. Yeah, I get that. We can knock that one off.
Indiana Jones and Mutt.
Yeah.
Williams. I mean, I love Shia LaBeouf.
Big fan of Shia LaBeouf.
I'm a big fan of Indian Short Round, though, from Temple of Doom.
Yeah, that is a better dynamic
I feel like
duo.
I like that duo better.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's my reasoning for moving on.
But we do like to say that they had great chemistry, and they should have brought him back for number 5.
Maybe not, but I mean...
Okay, fine. Best movie ever, Dying on the Hill.
Best movie ever.
The best Indiana Jones movie.
All right, so here... Okay, Inspector Clouseau and Ponton.
Another Marlon and Dory situation. Ponton deals with...
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. I like
that's
them
the
better
weakest one,
than
I
Marlon
think.
and Duo. I just think their relationship is funnier.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why I enjoy it.
But they already won the Staple Award for funniest movie.
Okay. Next. So that leaves us... Okay, let's leave it here and debate these last two, or we can figure out what the winner is here.
Okay.
So the last 2 nominations is Sid and Manny from Ice Age, and then Tom Hanks and Wilson. Okay.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and see what the Academy says on this. Okay.
So, the winner for the Best Dynamic Duo Staple Award goes to Chuck Noland and Wilson from Castaway. It's not even a duo. It's just a single duo.
I know. I feel like hypocritical because we knocked out other ones for being too one-sided, and this is the most one-sided of them all.
It truly is.
But, I mean, how emotional is that separation between the two of them at the end?
More than most.
It's like, it brings tears to
It
your
does.
eyes.
And the bond that they helped each other get through so many things. Well, Wilson helped Chuck get through a lot of things mentally. And I the thing that knocked Sid and Manny, because they are iconic. Love their relationship.
That's where I thought you were going.
They're not that... I don't know. Yeah. It's
But
just a lot of like Manny putting up with Sid, though.
True. Same like...
And then Sid proving himself in the middle of the movie.
Yeah. And I still like to think of them as a trio. Even though Diego is like not... He's kind of the villain in the first movie.
Yeah.
But obviously he's like redeemed in the end. But like, I just think of them as a trio instead of a duo. So. And
also throughout the movie, there's 4 people together. And this all those movies are just like this whole group traveling in packs. Like, it's not just 2 people specifically. And they like Sid and Manny aren't standing out in the group really.
Yeah.
As like those are the 2.
Yeah.
And obviously, Wilson and Chuck are the only two people on the island in his mind.
Not to your knowledge.
And it's very emotional and has so much heart and a lot of character development just in that relationship.
Yes, it's a joke, but it's also true. Best duo.
Yeah, best duo. It's crazy. I can't believe we went with that. But hope we didn't make anybody too angry with that.
I don't think so.
I think it's.
I think everyone's with us.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Next category, we've got best villain.
Best villain.
We had a lot of great villains too.
Yeah.
Do you want to read the list off?
I sure do. We've got Jack Harlow in the French. From Timeline, there's the guy that looks.
I have to explain.
There's some guy. If you guys haven't seen Timeline, it's where they go back in time to medieval France, and
it's the English versus the France.
Yes,
the France. English versus the French.
Anglo-French War, or something like that. And it's kind of a broad thing. Like he is the commander of the French army and stuff like that, and he just looks like Jack Harlow, and he's ruthless.
Yeah.
We watched that man stab someone with eye contact.
He killed Francois.
He killed Francois. Anyways,
at first I was like, let's just nominate the French as the villains of this movie, and then we're like, oh yeah, Jack Harlow.
Yeah,
Jack Harlow.
I have a hard time picking that one just based off of the large group.
Yeah.
You can't really be a villain if you are a large group. That being said, I think Ice Age also gets knocked out for being the pack of saber-toothed tigers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just based off of that.
What other nominations do we have?
Other one, I guess I didn't go over the nominations. Yeah. We have Jack Harlow and the French. We have Yzma and Kronk. We have saber-toothed tigers. We have Oobla from Jimmy Neutron. We have Kate Blanchett from Indiana Jones 4, which we can't even remember her actual name.
Yeah, the character is Irina Spalko, the Russian.
Irina Spalko. Anyways, then we've got the Verminator from Over the Hedge.
Honestly, one of my favorite Thomas Hayden Church performances.
A true icon. Better than Sandman, honestly.
Not as good as Lyle from George of the Jungle.
Sure.
But
R.J. Fletcher from UHF.
Yeah.
And the Troll. We have a lot. We have the
Ernest
Troll
Scared
from Ernest
Stupid.
Scared Stupid.
Okay, so we're going to knock out the French and the saber-toothed tigers.
Yes.
Right off the bat. I think we should take off Kate Blanchett from Indy 4.
I believe that too.
It's hard. I don't even really remember
She
her
was
name.
convincing, though. She was scary.
She was good. I liked her, but I never really remember her name.
Yeah.
And Yzma and Kronk.
Are you supposed to remember?
I almost wanted to nominate them for best duo, but
I did too.
But we had the villain category, so
I think we'll give them the honorable mention for that. I think. Are you really supposed to remember all the villains in Indiana Jones? I can't. It's not about the villains, you know?
It's not about the villains.
Anyways, that's what I want to say. Verminator was an icon. Super funny. Not necessarily that intimidating.
No, he was kind of a joke.
Yeah.
And I liked him as an antagonist, but like you want the villain to be.
I think the
serious.
villain was mainly the real estate agent lady. More than him. We've got R.J. Fletcher.
Oh man. Yeah, I think that's a good villain, R.J. Fletcher.
Yeah.
I think he's a good villain. You hate him like in every interaction of that movie.
Yeah. Then again, he is just like
but he's just like
boss.
an old, just like grumpy old man.
Snob. Yeah.
Yeah. But
This
he's
is
definitely
hard.
worth nominating. Okay, the troll from Ernest Scared Stupid.
Scary villain.
Very scary.
Effective? Did you feel like there was no escape with its plan at a certain point?
No, because you don't really know what the plan is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you know what he's trying to do, but
What's interesting?
he doesn't talk. He's just like he's like a scary creature.
Yeah. What's interesting about this is that we had a lot of comedic villains, like comedic movie villains.
True, yeah.
And that kind of takes it away a little bit.
So maybe we should put the French back up on the table.
Yeah.
Because they were a serious villain.
Yeah.
We've got Yzma and Kronk. And, like, yes, there's a lot of comedic value to them, but, I mean, Yzma's intimidating.
Yeah.
Kronk's not.
Yeah.
Kronk's a joke, but...
I would like to put them out there for yes, but I want to say something that will probably knock them down a little bit.
Okay.
They are a dynamic duo, but without one or the other, they fail. Without Yzma, Kronk becomes good.
Yeah.
And Yzma can't get anything done without Kronk.
Yeah. And then we've got Kronk's new groove.
Yeah. So, I mean, that takes it away a little bit. But as terms of iconic villains, they take the cake.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be good.
One that we've passed over was Ooblar.
Ooblar.
From Jimmy Neutron.
The Alien King.
Yeah.
Nah. Oh, man. Yeah. So, oh my goodness, we didn't put Umbridge. She wins. I'm sorry. She wins that.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we were like, oh, let's not include Harry Potter
Yeah.
villains, but we forgot about Umbridge, and there's just no way that you can't vote for her.
Exactly. Okay, so forget all of our nominations earlier. Here's the deal. We were going to give it to R.J. Fletcher because he is...
Because this community means to me...
like a flaming ball of dog snot. You can't do anything but hate that man's guts. Fully fledged evil person at heart. And I was like, who does that remind me of? That's a great quality in a villain. Oh, Professor Umbridge. Wait a minute, we did that movie this year.
Just totally forgot about that one.
Umbridge was a better villain than Voldemort was.
I mean, I agree. Yeah, I mean, like, that's one of the reasons why why Order of the Phoenix is like a hard read for me, because it's like, it really frustrates me.
How the heck did we skip over this stuff?
We probably were trying to snub the franchises.
I think we were.
But let's make it official. What does the Academy have to say? Winner for this category, best villain.
Umbridge. The winner is Professor Dolores Jane Umbridge.
No fancy Academy voice, just it's Umbridge.
No, I'm just ashamed we forgot about that.
Yeah.
So we just let's just sweep this one under the rug.
Okay, all right.
Umbridge wins with a little tiny minor shout out to R.J. Fletcher.
Okay.
Same
Move
qualities.
Move on.
All right, so here we are on our second to last
thing.
Thing.
I like this category a lot. I think this will be fun.
Okay.
Really brief, but we've got most obscure, or otherwise known as the movie least likely to be nominated this evening.
Absolutely.
Okay. The nominations are Timeline.
Yeah.
UHF, which, now that I'm looking at it, we nominated UHF for like a couple different categories.
We sure did.
So it's not winning. Ernest Scared Stupid or Crocodile Dundee in Los Angeles.
Also got nominated a bunch. I've known my answer.
I think we know where this is going. And I just wanted... Actually, I re-listened to our season 2 Staple Awards, and like we got to the very end, and we're like, dude, we didn't even nominate Snow Dogs for anything. I don't know. That was funny.
You know what's ironically not nominated for this, but should be because we didn't nominate it for anything?
What?
Night at the Museum.
That is the one we didn't nominate. That's the thing. And we even Timeline, we nominated The French.
Yeah.
So all of these nominations that are in this category.
But it's most obscure.
Most obscure. Okay.
Battle of the Smithsonian is a bop.
I don't know why blockbuster.
It's so good. It's so funny, and it's so quotable.
I guess the category got kind of convoluted.
So
let's stick with most obscure.
Most obscure movie. Here's what I think. I think at UHF everyone's heard of Weird Al, yet a lot of people haven't heard of UHF.
It is pretty obscure.
But it's very, very obscure in that way. But Weird Al being known, we'll set that there as a control group. Then we've got Ernest. That was a whole franchise. There's
like 10 of those movies.
10 of those movies. He's an icon, whether you like it or not. He's an obscure icon.
Yeah. But
that's not one-off necessarily.
I feel like if you're in the South, you've probably seen an Ernest movie.
Yeah. And then Crocodile Dundee.
Okay.
He's the only thing in media that Australia has to offer.
What about the Crocodile Hunter?
Well,
R.I.P. All they have is crocodile guys.
Anyways, I feel like everyone's heard of Crocodile Dundee, but they haven't heard of Crocodile Dundee 3 in Los Angeles.
I mean, look at that. There's 3 movies there. So this is a whole franchise.
Another franchise.
That's 3 chances for people
Obviously,
to hear about
it was successful enough to be heard about.
Yeah. And the original one was like a genuine like blockbuster hit.
Yeah.
Made a lot of money. A lot of people saw that movie. Maybe not people that listen to this podcast, but a lot of people saw that movie. Well, what does the Academy have to say for most obscure movie covered by Inside Quotes in 2023?
Jonathan, I gotta go with the winner for the most obscure film staple that we've covered this past year is Timeline.
And we pretty much covered it in response to seeing Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like, oh, let's go watch a time travel movie that we liked.
If you haven't heard of Timeline, then that makes sense. That's why we let it win. It is so good and so bad.
Yeah.
It's an obscure Michael Crichton book with the same guy who wrote Jurassic Park. And you know what's even obscure is that most people don't even know that Jurassic Park was a book. So it's down in the weeds a lot. Paul Walker's best movie. Came out in the 2000s, the Dark Ages. And I don't know, it's just so obscure that absolutely, I feel like when talking to people that have listened to our show this year, the 2 movies that people have not heard of at all were this movie mostly and Crocodile Dundee 3.
Yeah.
And I think I'm happy with Timeline getting that.
I think so. It needed some love.
It needed some love.
It wasn't going to win anything else.
So most obscure movie goes to Timeline.
Okay,
here we go.
Which brings us to our final category. Stapliest Picture.
Okay.
Season 4. Okay. So at this time, we are going to close voting.
Yes.
On our Instagram polls for the Stapliest Picture.
Well, first of all, if you haven't followed us on Instagram yet and you're listening to us, please go follow us because you missed out on your input. Inside Quotes Cast
on Instagram.
Every year before we do this recording, we have live voting on our Instagram polls.
For like
Instagram stories.
For like the week of or week or 2 leading up to it. It was kind of a little rushed this year, but
it's a bracket style tournament where we go based off of the most downloaded episodes. So that movie goes against, like, the number 1 seed goes against the number 17 seed. And then, it just as a bracket goes, so do we. We've been through 3 rounds, and the final 4 was Ice Age, Emperor's New Groove, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, and Finding Nemo.
Yes.
So, we are now here at the final 2. So if you haven't voted, it's too late. But our final 2 is Emperor's New Groove and Finding Nemo. Both Disney films.
Yeah.
One was Pixar.
2 animated movies.
2 animated movies.
So I was pretty happy about that because, like I said, in years past, haven't covered as many animated movies as we thought we had.
Yeah. So basically, the rules of how this works is whatever gets voted on Instagram isn't the final answer. It is just an input towards our voting as well. We used to use that as a tiebreaker, but now it has an equal amount of weight as our votes for Stapliest Picture, because you guys are a huge part of recalling our staples too.
Yeah.
We can't relive the staples with just ourselves because that's just pathetic. So basically, whoever wins, we haven't checked the polls yet. We are about to. We're going to cast our votes first. Basically, Jonathan gets 1 point, I get 1 point, and then whatever the listeners decide gets 1 point.
Yes.
So it's going to be a 2 versus 3 or 3 takes all.
Yes.
Best of 3 points. So just wanted to put that out there because it can get a little confusing. But it makes sense. So yeah, Jonathan, do you want to get some paper for us?
Sure.
Or do you want? No.
How do you want to do it?
I want to lock in our votes, and then we'll look up the Instagram.
Do you want us to write them
down and fold them up, and then I'll do it survivor style. So give me 3 pieces of paper.
3?
Well, you 1 and give me 2 so I can write it down.
Just cut it in half.
Thank you. Can I have a pen? All right. I don't have a pen yet. Soul.
Well, I'll just write mine down.
Yeah. Okay. So right now, me and Jonathan are going to write down our number 1 picks out of those 2 movies. And we are going to lock in our votes before we find out the listener's choice. So you're finding out just as at the same time we are. So that's pretty cool. All right.
I'm very curious how this is going to go.
Me too.
I don't even know what to pick right now.
Out of Emperor's New Groove and Finding Nemo.
I don't know what I'm going to pick yet.
Amazing. It's very hard. It's very, very hard.
So I'm gonna write mine down, and then you're gonna write yours down.
Yeah. Okay.
I've made my choice.
Okay, Jonathan, if you will fold your answer and hand it to me. I kind of like how we're doing the survival style. Thank you. All right, mine and Jonathan's votes are locked in. Now I'm going to check.
If you have an immunity idol, you can play it now.
Yes. Okay. So
now we are closing the Instagram poll as we speak.
Okay.
10:30 p.m. Central Time, February 1st, as of recording. And we are seeing the results now.
It's very close.
Of what the listeners chose. Jeremy's saying it's close.
It was so close. An upset of a close one, actually.
So how are we going to... Okay. I think we should reveal ours first and then the listeners. Or how do you want
I'm doing all 3 at the same time, so no one's going to know what we have.
Oh, so you're just mixing them up.
It's genuinely Survivor style. Okay. First vote. Finding Nemo.
That's a 1.
Second vote. Emperor's New Groove. Whew. So 1 vote Nemo, 1 vote Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, it comes down to this final vote.
And the winner for the Stapliest Picture for Season 4 of Inside Quotes goes to Finding Nemo. Woo!
Is it really?
It is. Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm surprised. I really thought it was going to be Emperor's New Groove.
You thought? Wow. Finding Nemo. Congratulations. It was so close.
Mm-hmm.
The listener bracket was off by one vote.
Ooh.
One singular vote. So if you didn't vote,
Man, so many people don't vote, and they're like, "Well, I can't make a difference." Yes, you can.
yes, you can, because we have 30 people voting,
Can make all the difference in the world.
and that's it. So, congratulations to Finding Nemo. You full on deserve it. Emperor's New Groove, so good.
I think that's going to upset a lot of people,
I think it will too.
but I will say this: I have come around on Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah,
for
most
sure.
improved movie actually.
It was so overhyped to me as a kid, and I saw it and I liked it. I did, but just everyone talking about it, and I didn't get the hype.
Yeah.
So over time, that was my go-to answer for most overrated
And I
movie.
love
And
that
now
movie.
going forward, it is no longer my most overrated movie.
And it is a staple.
I'll have to come up with something else. I don't know what it is yet, but I will from here on out. I will no longer refer to The Emperor's New Groove as my most overrated movie.
And that's what we do here on Inside Quotes.
And no, it didn't get Stapliest Picture, but I mean, how can you argue with Finding Nemo? I mean, that's a solid Pixar film.
Yeah.
Great visuals, great soundtrack, great moments, a lot of heart, great story. It has everything.
Both movies. This is probably our closest race of the entire
All these
show.
animated movies were very close
Yeah.
for me in my head
Yeah.
in the matchups.
This was literally 1 point, and I could have gone both ways. It lost by 1 point in the polls. So follow us on Instagram for next year. Make sure you're voting and stuff. And thank you guys for listening to another year, a slow-paced year, but a good year nonetheless.
We appreciate, all the messages of like, hey, where are you guys? Have I missed something?
Are you okay?
Shout out to Caleb Keenan when he was like, have I missed something, or have you just not posted since November? I was like,
No, yeah, that's it.
no, we got busy.
So,
And now he knows what happened. So, season 4, Stapliest Picture, Finding Nemo. I'm good with that.
I'm very good with that.
I'm happy
No,
with
yeah,
that.
for sure.
And I think that's definitely goes up there
listeners
in the
chose
default
well.
vault with National Treasure, Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah.
Chamber of Secrets,
It's
Finding
up there.
Nemo. Solid picks.
Yeah.
So going forward for next year, I mean, I think we're going to finish Harry Potter, hopefully.
We better.
We
Yeah.
really only have the last 2 movies, so
Yeah.
we're going to commit to getting that done in this first part of the year. And then probably starting a new franchise. But
Yeah.
also, we haven't decided on that yet, but also we'll, do our one-offs, taking
know
turns watching movies
I did
we do.
I did make a ring. I've
Yeah.
been studying the art of ring making. So
Interesting.
I wonder if our next franchise could be something revolving around marriage.
Like the
rings, maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
like a space movie, like Saturn's Rings or
Yeah,
something.
most
Space Month.
Yeah. Like Johnny Cash's
I'm going to
Ring
put
of
this
Fire.
out there just so we can commit to it this year. We're going to do a pirate month.
We're doing a pirate month.
Yeah.
There's
we
so
keep
many
saying
great
we're gonna
movies
do it,
about
and we haven't done
pirates, and we have not done it yet. Yeah.
Yeah. At some point, we're going to do that. So
I've never seen that before.
Yeah. But thanks everyone for sticking with us through another year of Inside Quotes.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the episodes. Thanks for commenting and leaving reviews and just texting us when you hear something we said on a back
Yeah.
episode and we're like, I don't even remember saying that.
If you listen to the show and you haven't left a review, we ask that you do that. Could be a couple words, couple sentences. Say good show.
Good show.
Give us 5 stars. It really would help us a lot in getting and growing our community. So we are going to take this year by the horns, and we've just got one episode after another, one big episode after another. We've got a lot of milestones we're going to hit this year.
100th episode.
100th
yeah.
episode.
Coming up soon.
Yeah.
And I think you know what that's going to be. And if you don't know what that's going to be, you haven't listened to enough episodes yet, because we quote it every episode.
And I think we're gonna have to do some crazy good staples of our childhood because I already think it's gonna win Stapliest Picture next year, our 100th episode.
It's a default winner. I don't know how else it can be, and that's just a biased pick. But
yeah. So we'll see.
We will see.
We might have to disqualify that one.
Maybe we'll figure that out.
All right. We really hope you enjoyed this ride, and we will be continuing our podcast next year, full force.
Except in the summer, we always dip in the summer, and you're getting married, so we'll probably have a hiatus this summer, a planned one,
yeah.
hiatus.
But we will be making up for our Christmas debacle this past year by doing double the amount.
All Christmas movies, 2024.
Absolutely.
All day, every day.
Nope, not that.
Christmas in July. I say we do 12 days of Christmas, 12 Christmas movies.
I'd be fine with that.
We'll just record one a month. All year.
Okay.
We're making no promises.
No promises, but we'll do it. We'll see.
All right. Well, you want to give our shout out to Bryce and wrap it up here, Jeremy?
So our show art was done by Bryce Bridgeman, and he is such a legend. And you can find him on Instagram at GroovyBridge or BryceBridgeman.com. If you have any art needs, hit him up. With that being said, we are grateful for you guys, and we're excited for this next year of podcasting and our life in general. But yeah, we are excited. Thank you for being a staple. And let's do this thing. Until next time.
We'll see you next time on Inside Quotes.